Hello, my name is Greg Jones, and today I would like to talk with you about the legacy of Thomas Jefferson. Now, when many of us think of Jefferson's legacy, I'm sure we think of him as a founding father, as a famous politician, as the third president of the United States, and as the author of the Declaration of Independence. Now, while these are great aspects to examine, today I would like to focus on Jefferson's legacy in the realm of religion. Now, when most people think about America's founding, they debate that it was a Christian founding. Though the Bible was commonly cited and sermons were influential, it is still debated. But the Declaration of Independence by Jefferson contained religious rhetoric. There are two examples I would like to point to today. The first, and I quote, "To assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitled them," end quote. This first quote really shows that Jefferson acknowledged that God created nature. God created the universe. It was all made by God. The second quote is, and I quote, "Men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights," end quote. This quote shows that Jefferson recognized that God gives men certain rights and abilities. He is the author of the universe and is over all. The Declaration is most commonly attributed to Jefferson, but there are two other works that should be analyzed that address his religious legacy and religious views. The first is the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom. This bill was proposed in 1785 and was passed on January 16th of 1786. In The Glorious Cause by Robert Middlekauff, he gives a brief background to why the bill was required. Before America declared independence, they were required to pay a tax to the Anglican Church of England, the established church. After they declared independence, they still had to pay this tax. It was especially grievous to the dissenters such as the Presbyterians and Baptists. Middlekauff wrote, and I quote, that "this act disestablished the church and made clear the legislature's intention that the establishment should never be restored," end quote. Jefferson's bill disestablished the established church. It also impacted the 20th century in America. There was a 1947 court case between Everson versus the Board of Education, in which, in an article for Church History, Stephen Green covers. He wrote, and I quote, that "the justices relied exclusively on the Virginia experience and the writings of Jefferson and Madison. That episode, and not that of any other state, became the basis for the justices' understanding of church-state separation under law. Thus, the Virginia experience and Jefferson statute stand in unparalleled significance in considerations about disestablishment in the United States," end quote. This had a very impactful, Jefferson's bill had a very impactful legacy. It was very crucial in the 1780s, and it impacted the 1947 court case. The second aspect I would like to discuss is the Jeffersonian Bible, which was completed in 1820, and the proper title is The Morals of Jesus of Nazareth. In an article for Religious Studies Review by Jeremy Biles, he examines how Jefferson piecemealed this Bible together. He states that Jefferson includes, and I quote, "the rational core of Christianity, a version of the story and teachings of Jesus, stripped of miracles, superstition, or the supernatural," end quote. Jefferson did not believe in the divinity of Christ. He was very concerned with ration and reasoning. He believed that Jesus' teachings, and I quote, "are the most sublime and benevolent code of morals which has ever been offered to man," end quote. Jefferson believed that nature and reasoning was more important than inspiration and revelation. Now, when we look at his religious legacy, we see that he included religious rhetoric in the Declaration of Independence. We see the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom was his method for removing the established church from America. And then we look at the Jefferson Bible as his attempt to piecemeal the teaching of Christ to make it what he wanted it to be. Now, we can agree that he had religious views, he used religious rhetoric, but we must further this conversation by looking at the faith of Jefferson, because I believe that Jefferson was a man of religion, but was not a man of faith.